There we go. And I also wanted to mention that if you need them, there are closed captions that you can turn on. So if you go to your bottom menu, you can turn on the closed captions there. And if anybody needs help with that, Melissa is on the line as kind of our backup today, and she can help you with that. All right, well, welcome everybody to our webinar. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oops. All right, can everybody see that? Yes. All righty, well, my name is Elise Monat. I'm the active transportation planner here with our planning division. And we are giving this presentation about the Mobilize the MAGIC City project. And we're looking for an artist in residence to join us for 12 months to help out with this project. So the purpose of the project is to work with an artist in residence, or AIR. So if you see AIR, that's what that stands for a year to develop a formal process to involve art and artists in everyday civic life. So nationwide, we know that artists are contributing to planning and design to improve economic development, road safety, health outcomes, and more. And there's definitely been some of this happening in Billings with murals across town. Healthy by Design, who's on the line, has done a lot of work on the south side with signage, with sidewalks stamped with poetry, with a mural. So we're wanting to expand that and really help build the infrastructure to help integrate that easily into the community of Billings. So there are 4 partners on this project. So the City of Billings was awarded an Our Town grant from the National Endowment for the Arts. So the National Endowment for the Arts is also a partner on this, as they're sponsoring the program in part. I represent the City of Billings, and I'm also the project manager on this. We also have our council member, Denise Joy, on our project leadership team. She couldn't be here today because she works as she works in a school, so she couldn't come. And then I'm going to let the other project partners introduce themselves. So next is Carolyn Martin Kennedy, and she's from the Billings Arts Association. So Carolyn, take it away.
Good afternoon. I'm here representing the Billings Art Association, a nonprofit organization that was established in 1954. Our vision is to provide a home for the arts through a community of visual artists and art enthusiasts who support each other and give each other a chance to express their creativity. We have 3 points to our mission statement. The first point is to provide a supportive environment for visual artists of all skill levels where they can explore and express their creativity. The second point is to support art in our community through collaboration, education, and financial assistance. The final point is to provide a platform for local artists to add to the beauty of the communities in which they live and work. We're very excited to be a partner in this project and look forward to meeting the applicants.
Thanks, Carolyn. And then next, I'll let Eden introduce herself and Healthy by Design.
Thanks, Elise. So like Elise mentioned, I'm Eden Sowers. I'm the Community Health Improvement Manager, and I work on behalf of Healthy by Design Coalition. And so if you haven't heard of our coalition, it is a community health coalition that is sponsored by the Healthcare Alliance, which is Billings Clinic, Riverstone Health, and St. Vincent Healthcare, now Intermountain Health. And so we are working to make the healthy choice the easy choice in Yellowstone County. And so a lot of the work that we do is in response to our community health needs assessment that's done every 3 years. And we come up with a plan on how to address community health needs. And so we've had experience in some placemaking work over the years through a Southside neighborhood project that was a really amazing grant from the Kresge Foundation. So we've had some experience with some ways to incorporate some creative placemaking into the community and revitalize neighborhoods. And yeah, so we're excited to be a part of this partnership and looking forward to the awesome work that can come out of this.
Cool, thanks, Eden. All right, and then I think you're also going to introduce creative placemaking.
Yes. So as I mentioned, I think obviously the people that are on this call, or people that are going to be tuning into this, have some interest in the creative placemaking process. But just to give you a quick definition from Smart Growth America, who's been involved in this process with us as well, it's just it's a process of designing art in the community. And so it's going to be, strategically shaping physical and social character of a neighborhood, town, city, or region. And it's very much, as much as it is public art, the process is also an important part of the outcome. And so being able to engage with residents and create what a neighborhood or community is looking for in creative design is very important in this process. So that's something to keep in mind as you're tuning in for this. And also the type of art that we're looking for is very broad. So we really are not focusing on any particular type of art. So it really is going to be what applicants we get and the type of skills that our artists do have, and what kind of vision they have for this kind of project. But also realizing that, being able to engage with residents in the area and where these art installations are going to be is also an important part of that process, being able to be flexible in some of that, and being able to use your skills in your art to bring some of that to life. Go to the next one, Elise. And these are just some examples, some of them locally, some of them more nationally. There's just a few on here that are related to our Southside Neighborhood Project, and really the work that came out of that for creative placemaking was really getting residents involved and looking for people to, really bring some of their visions and reflect on some of the work that we were trying to do for revitalizing the Southside neighborhood. So we had some box wraps, and local artists were able to design those and really focus on the bright side of the tracks theme that the neighborhood was looking for. Also, the signs for that neighborhood were designed by residents in the community, and the South Sidewalks Project being able to get local residents creating poems that were then stamped into newly paved sidewalks in the area to increase walkability and whatnot. And then, like we mentioned, there's lots of options for murals. That's something that's been very much brought into the Billings area, but it could be very open to a lot of different things. So this is definitely not what specifically we're looking for, just giving a lot of ideas that it can be representing in a lot of different ways. All right, next one, Elise. I think maybe it's you next. Oh, you're muted, Elise, sorry.
Thank you, Eden.
Yes.
There are three main outputs for this project. So the first one being the creative placemaking hubs, which will be installed along Billings' first neighborhood bikeway. And so we are defining those creative placemaking hubs as an art installation in the public realm designed to draw people of different backgrounds together and create a sense of pride and community. And they can be of any art medium subject to approval by the project leadership team. The next output is going to be a placemaking playbook, which will document how to implement successful creative placemaking art installations in Billings. So this will look at recommendations from elsewhere in the country and the world, and add in engagement and other techniques that worked in Billings, because I think we all know, what works in one place may not work in another place. So adding that local lens is going to be important. And then finally, there's the Public Arts Committee feasibility study. So this is going to be a research document that the artists and residents will help develop to look into public arts commissions and how they function in other localities and how one could work in Billings. We really wanted to include this because at this moment, there's no standardized process to get public art approved in Billings. And so it creates a barrier for people, for residents, if they want to get something approved, they don't know where to go or who to ask. So we wanted to help make that really clear. And so I think I mentioned the creative placemaking hubs will be along our first neighborhood bikeway. So the blue route shows the neighborhood bikeway. It runs from approximately North Park on the east end to Rose Park, a little bit past Rose Park, but those are kind of two good bookends. So a neighborhood bikeway is just a series of local streets that's optimized for people riding bicycles, and so you can still drive on it, but it has wayfinding signage. It has stop signs that stop the cross traffic so people biking can maintain their momentum, things like that. And it's a really important route because if you look at this map, it connects a lot of different really important destinations in Billings, like our healthcare. It connects people to healthy foods, to parks, to schools. So it's a route that really connects a lot in Billings, and we're really excited to help bring more awareness to it through this Artists in Residence program.
And so just some components of what we're looking for in the artist in residence. So obviously we're wanting somebody who is able to engage, because like we mentioned, you know, being able to engage with people in the community and figure out, you know, what are people looking for, what best represents the area, who are those individuals, and being able to take some of that feedback and creating something that, you know, a community can feel a sense of pride for, being able to increase social connection, somewhere that people can be really excited to go to and engage with other people. And so we're also looking for that flexibility, because, you know, you might be having one vision in a particular area, but it might not be responded well by the people that you're trying to represent. So being able to be flexible and kind of working around some of those things and being able to have that finished installment as a collaborative process. We do have kind of a scoring sheet of what some things we're looking for. So interest in the goals for residency. So obviously we want the person that's in this role to have an understanding and an interest in the work that's going to be coming about. So just being able to be thoughtful in that vision and being willing to, you know, adjust and creating something that's meaningful. We also are looking for the ability to cultivate broad collaboration. So people that have some background in working with non-artists, government agencies, diverse communities, thinking about, you know, accessibility and those kinds of things. The ability to work with cultural and people with differences is really important for this work. We're also looking for somebody that is interested in understanding the equitable lens of this work too. So, you know, if this is a topic area that you're maybe not so familiar with, highly encourage looking farther into it. The you know, there's a lot of cool resources that are out there. So the National Endowment for the Arts does have some of their take on equity in art. So that would be a good resource to go check out on their website, just seeing kind of the areas and the ways that they're describing it and making sure that it applies to your own practice of art and what you think you could incorporate in the people in the groups that you could get involved in this work. Also the application for community development challenges. So being able to problem solve, you know, things that come about, just being willing to adjust and being able to work through some of those developmental challenges as the work goes on. And then relevance of experience. Experience is also a very important aspect. So we'll just be looking at what work has been done in the past by the individuals that are applying and, you know, how that best fits with the work that we're looking for. And then just overall artistic merit and qualification. So in that application process, it does ask for a variety of things. So being able to provide, you know, your qualifications based on CV and quality of portfolio, including experience of broad range and creative skills and mediums. So being able to provide some of that context of how maybe you've had some work similarly been done, or just being able to let us see your vision a little bit more clearly will be super helpful in this process.
Okay, so jumping a little bit into the structure of the Artist in Residence program, we anticipate this is going to be about 20 hours a week of work for 12 months. It may differ a little bit, maybe in the beginning it's potentially a little lighter, and then as we get towards engagement activities and things like that, it might require more time. So that's kind of a little bit flexible. It's open to 1 to 2 artists. So you can decide to split up the work. You can decide to pair with somebody to split up the work. Or we also said in the application process, if we get 2 applicants that come together and really have complementary skills, we might pair them together to make a good team to get all of the work done. There's a stipend of up to $25,000 with payments based on deliverables by quarter. So the successful artists in residence will get half of each quarter's payment up front and then half when those deliverables are completed. If 2 artists apply, then they'll split the stipend. You can certainly split it in half, or if you feel like one person is doing more work than the other, you're certainly welcome to work that out between you two. That is up to you to figure out. If we end up pairing 2 people, it will most likely be split the stipend in half, but we'll kind of approach that when we get to that point. There is insurance required. We'll help you get the insurance, but if you don't have the insurance, then we're going to take that out of that $25,000, which is why it's a stipend of up to $25,000. We anticipate it's going to be about $1,500 per artist in residence, but we don't know for sure until we figure out who we're working with and what type of art they're installing. So that's a little bit up in the air. Office space and supervision was going to be provided by Healthy by Design, so Eden, or somebody working with Eden, and we will consider some work at home options. And then how to apply. So there's an application packet online, and I think Melissa is going to drop that link in the chat. There is an intent to respond form that's optional. You can send it to me. The thing is, if there end up being any changes to the call to artists, we can't let you know unless we have your contact information. So if you want to be kept informed, should there be any changes, then go ahead and send that form to me. The application packet is online at that link, and I think Melissa shared it. And just make sure you do have to upload a CV, and then there's a conditions and non-collusion form, which is at the end of that application packet. So just don't forget to upload those when you submit your application. These are image references, and I think we got through that in record time, so we have quite a bit of time for questions if anybody has any questions.
I do. I'm curious what the anticipated start date for this would be.
Yeah, so I think we had like decide in mid-December, I believe. So I think probably early 2023, or possibly like get started in late December.
Yeah, this application, I believe, is open until November 28th, and then there'll be kind of just depending on how many people have applied, there'll just be a small process of going through the applicants and setting up some of those conversations and interviews and making that decision in December. So.
And then is it my understanding that the artist will be assisting with the feasibility and planning process, like in collaboration with the planning department, or is that something that they will completely create and develop on their own during this residency?
So yeah, I think we'll provide guidance definitely and help with some of those skills. I think Melissa or Eden, do you want to jump in on that since you'd be providing oversight?
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in. So the thought is that in a perfect world, the artist in residence can do it all, right? They have the left brain, the right brain. we recognize that that's probably not reality, and this is a lot of work. And so our thought is that the artist in residence will work really closely with the leadership team and with their Healthy by Design supervisor to develop the feasibility study and the playbook, but we'll be there to help provide outlines, to help provide resource, things like that. So it will evolve based on who the artist or artists are that are chosen. I can assure you that it will be doable. It just is a matter on where that artist's energy and skill set is strongest and where we as the committee can come alongside and support. Eden, I don't know if you would have anything you'd like to add to that, or if feels good to you.
Yeah, I think that's everything that we've discussed. And so just not wanting that person to feel like they have to do it all on their own. There will be people around to help give that guidance and that support.
Sorry, I have another question. Is there any assistance with living situation or housing provided? I know it sounds like it's probably not incorporated within the stipend, but for those that maybe are not from the area, is that something that's been taken into account?
No, unfortunately, the 25,000 is for your time, so we don't have a housing stipend. But I guess I should say that's for your time, but we also have a budget for like the supplies and everything to implement the creative placemaking hub. So it's not like you'll be needing to take money out of that to pay for supplies and things.
And I would just add that, you know, as a community, Billings is pretty excited about people choosing to work here. And so when we've had AmeriCorps vistas, or, you know, at the health department, we've had CDC associates. I feel like if the final candidate is not someone that already lives here locally, we'll definitely try to connect you to housing resources or people that have kind of spare rooms and things like that. I think just to Elisa's point, we can't guarantee that that would work, and we can't provide a financial stipend to support it.
And Carolyn is here also, and she's a great local artist, and she was just going to say she's also going to provide mentorship throughout the process. So
you won't be hanging out there all by yourself. I'll be available to help you as much as I can. Our skill sets might not be exactly parallel, but I can help from an artistic point of view, whereas the people that are more used to writing grants and not so used to creating art might not be able to help you as much with the artistic process. So you won't be alone. I'll be there to help out with your needs.
awesome. Thanks, Carolyn. Anything else? We've only got 2 of you on today, but we'll be posting this webinar later so people can watch it later, or you can go back and watch it again if you feel like you want to. Yeah. Alrighty, well, I guess if there are no other questions, we'll head out. But if you have any questions you think of, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in that call for artists. And if I don't have the answer, I'll help get you the answer. So thanks and have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.